Hello, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy the video. If so, please like and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. Thanks. Alright guys, done messing around, back on the wiring. So, got stuff routed. This is just in. Starting to plug everything in, getting stuff ready to kind of go. I think I'm going to do something like that. Whoops. And then over here, trying to figure out where to mount the coil. Maybe right in here. Pretty much have everything plugged in and routed now. I also had to bust out the instruction manual for the Dakota Digital, because before I finalized wiring, I wanted to make sure I had the right sensors in. So this is a Dakota Digital water temp sensor, and I had to make sure that this sensor was for the computer, which is your coolant temperature sensor, engine coolant temp. And then down below here, I think everybody knows where that is, the oil temp sense. So I ran that. That's this guy right here on the Dakota Digital. So those are routed in. I also have the speed sensor down by the transmission and routed in. So I think I've got all my wiring up here, so I'm going to try and finalize engine bay wiring. So as you can see, I'm kind of getting this. This is headlight, this is horn, headlight, horn, fog lights, I believe. Pretty sure. And then over here, everything should go to my, almost everything over here should go to my solenoid, which we have a new solenoid yonder. Should get it over here so I remember to put it on. So that's what we're doing right now. Ultimately, I'd like to get everything in the engine bay buttoned up, wiring wise, and then I can move inside and start mounting the Dakota Digital computer for the dash, where the computer is going to go, where the inertia switch is going to go, and this is the box for the ECU. And this is all the inside the car connections for this unit. So like power switch, always on, lights, whatever it is, I don't know. I have to look through the directions. That right here. Anyway, that's what we're doing. Well, we made a little progress. I got to stop for right now because I got to get the Ranger off of the trailer, do some other stuff tomorrow. But we got an alternator. I need to get some 3-inch bolts. I'm routing the serpentine just to get a measurement, because right now I'm going to exclude the power steering pump because we don't have the power steering rack installed. So I'm going to do a different belt there. Then I got the coil mounted here, bolted through. I got this guy mounted, and the cable's actually all routed the way they're supposed to be. I had them up behind here. For some reason I thought that's where they went, but the manual says to go in the front. Got the horns installed and cabled. This is the wire for the electronic computer for the engine management. Orange wire goes to the fan. It's controlled by the computer. Got all of these guys, sensor put in here and sensor put in down there. And I think this is going to be the last time I have to take the intake manifold, upper intake off. This is the only vacuum line I see that needs to be in there. It goes to the fuel rail. It goes to the EGR, which I'm not sure I'm going to keep or not. I have to make a cover for this because this is actually two different things, two different motors. And I think it was because I wanted to use this throttle body. I'm not sure. I need to remember. It's been a minute. I got to look in the manual to find which cables go here. And I'm going to go ahead and run some heater hoses, even though I need to put a T in here for the heater hose return. Just something I overlooked. So I'll see if I can get a T, and then I'll run the hoses, the heater hoses, and then connect them inside. If not, I'll just run them out here and be ready and leave them long, because I don't want to have to get up under that dash and trying to figure out how to get hose clamps on them when everything's covered up. So tonight, when I get my other chores done, I'm going to look at mounting the boxes. There's two computers and then a circuit board. This is the check engine light. I think I'm going to put that in the glove box. And I have to find, with all that mounting, I also have to find where to mount the inertia switch and the test port. Probably, it's going over here, but it's just where, over the passenger foot floorboard area. Something I'll do also tonight is research what these wires for. This is a 130 amp alternator, which is really cool because electric fan and computer and all that stuff, it'll need the extra amperage. It'd be nice. I'll build a cable from here to there, build the cable there, and kind of getting it lined out. And I'll have to do the research and find out what those 3 pins are and relate them to these 3 pins. Probably field, ground, and energize. So I don't need this big cable here. I'll need a ground and a field. I don't know what the other one's for. Voltage regulator, maybe? If it's internally regulated, so I might have to do some funky wiring. I remember doing this on the Miss Dawn 66. I had to do a jumper wire, I think over there, to bypass that regulator, but leave all the wiring in place. Can't remember. I'll do it. I'll look at the research. I'll do the research. I also mounted this guy up here. I just use self-tappers. It's way up high, and there's no pressure or vibration or anything, so that guy's plugged in. So we've got oxygen sensors to put on and a speed sensor down below. And yeah, just kind of plugging away at it. I'm thinking I might not need this at 90. I'm not sure why I put it in. So I might do the throttle body right to the doodle, or eliminate this and do the throttle body right to that. There was some reason why I did this. We'll find out when it starts and runs funny. Anyway, I'm trying to push and be able to actually turn it over with the key by the end of tomorrow. But we'll see how my other chores work out. Alright, it's been another week, so I'm going to do a quick recap of where I was at and what I'm going to accomplish today, just in case. Engine bay wiring, there's a couple connectors here for the heater. Can't put the battery in, connected up to the computer and everything, and here we've got all the stuff till all the wiring is done, just in case. I've got to do an adapter here. It's a pretty straightforward thing. Well, I already looked up the wiring on the interwebs. I put the coil plug in just to get this measurement, and that's mounted. So, and then the starter wire itself, the starter's in now, and I just have to put the starter wire on, which is just a big cable, kind of like that. If I have time, I'm going to do a new one. If not, I'm going to re-terminate that one on the one end. Then we've got to mount both computers and a fuse block for the motor computer, engine computer, and then complete all of this wiring in here. Pretty good bit. All of the wiring. Final mounting some stuff, and finding mounting spots for computers and the like. So that's what we're probably going to start on now, and hopefully by the end of this day we'll have all the wiring 99% done. Maybe not this, but we did get a belt for this, and you see we're right in the groove. I don't know if you can see that, but we're right in the groove for the proper adjustment. So that guy's worked out. This was it was a struggle, but I enlisted some help. So my brothers and one of my nephews is going to be up here to lend a hand for a couple more days before we leave, and then whatever we don't get done, we'll have to do on the way down there or a couple days before. So here are boxes of stuff to do. This is lower parking lights, all the grill inserts, and the front and rear bumpers, and also the trim in the back. So kind of all the chrome on the outside. So yep, just pieces and parts that need to get done. But that we're going to reserve in case we have to do it down in Louisiana or Mississippi. And we got to get her wired, running, and driving, and all the interior put in, all the doors built before we go on Wednesday. All right, that's the struggle for cruising the coast 2023. All right, so leftover from last night. I can't remember where we left off, but we got the fuse panel for the computer mounted, the inertia switch. Oh, it's a little bit angled there. I might have to fix that. And then the test port. And then we started plugging wires in. These will get routed over nicely on those today. That's the first thing I'm going to start with. And that's where we're going to put the computer. I'm actually going to take it back out. I just want to make sure it fit with the dash. These are all for the computer. These are all for the dash. And this is the switch that I'm going to mount down here for the dash. And then I'm going to start plugging in. This is the wiper motor, stuff like that, start terminating. And hopefully with the fuel pump and the speaker wires, that should be the last bit of wiring. I've got fuel pump over here that went bad. Long story, but I kept it just for the wire color code to make sure that I could wire it up correctly, which one was pumping, which one was sending unit. Same pump that's in the guy right now. So today is another day of wiring. All right, my brother's in town, picked him up last night. We made a plan last night and he's working on door assembly. Most of this stuff was done by accident a few years ago when I was working on a 66. So these are 67 parts that have been refurbished and painted. He's got the manual out looking at how they go together. There's bolts and screws, new window components, and just got to figure out which one of these goes on the other side, because for some reason we did one. Probably got right down to it and said, oh, these are the wrong pieces. At any rate, he's working on that. And that's going to be the go of it. All right, start of Sunday is day 2 of the thrash before cruising the coast. I didn't have any red wire, so, you know, you have to get me on that, but got the ground done, the ground for the computer. This is the fused positive for the computer, and this is the alternator power. We're not sure how these go, so I wired them up the way they think they go. So we're gonna start it up, see if it charges, make sure it doesn't overcharge, and then we'll terminate these properly. One major issue we ran into is we went to put the spark plugs in, because I haven't put spark plugs in this thing in forever, because I've been spraying fluid in the cylinders and rotating it over. And the headers that I bought are for angle plug heads. These have a slight angle, but they're not like, these are considered straight plugs. They're GT40s, so they have a different port design. So we tried the header off of the yellow truck. We tried 2 sets of headers like that I have in the attic, one for a 68 351, and it wouldn't fit in here either. So be mindful, if you do a GT40 head swap, you're going to need special headers. So we're in one of the things we're going to have to do is priority overnight those guys and get them here for assembly Tuesday on the exhaust. So we'll save exhaust until Tuesday. When that kit comes in, we'll start building it, but the header has to go on too. So this is still kind of a mess, or it probably looks like a mess to most people, but most of the wiring is to this point, which is just a terminate on these screw terminals. Oops, terminate on these screw terminals on this guy, and then mount it. I had to run one power wire. I didn't look far enough ahead, read the directions. I had to mount a power wire for the computer. It needs a constant 12 volts. So I ran a special power wire for that, and I connected it to the computer main power wire for the engine computer, because it's fused out there at 40 amps and it comes in here. So I just picked it up on the stud, and I ran all the speaker wires. I'm gonna have to go back and finalize all this, because I just kind of tie wrapped it in to get it routed, but I'll do one tie wrap and then take the other ones off to kind of clean it up a little bit. But a lot of this is just going to end up stored behind the dash and behind the glove box, because that's where the computer's going to go, right there. Anyway, speaker wires are ran, so I've got 4, and even though I've got this guy up here, and I'm not sure, yeah, it's got left and right, so I'll run 2 more smaller speaker wires down here, and we'll hook those up to the fronts, and then the backs will be separate. So yeah, get all that done. Anyway, that's where we're at there. I don't know if you've seen this end. Got that guy in, and the cables, 2 of the cables are hooked up. I gotta hook up the 3rd. So this morning I'm going to get this cut to length. That's the power wire for the computer, and then I'm going to run this is red. I think I have enough to make it back for the fuel pump, and that will be the finally, I think, will be the last wire to put in, and then I'll start actually terminating at the computer. I'll have all the wires right here or at the radio, but right where they need to be, and we can start terminating. Now, my brother has got these guys in. I'm not going to touch them because he's got them where he wants them, because he's starting on the doors now. He's pulling the old doors apart to get some hardware out, linkages and stuff. Anytime you hear a hammer, it's because he's doing it. Got this guy in over here, so Starting to look like a enclosed car. Anyway, that's where we're at. I moved some stuff around so we can get the doors. Enough tables to, you know, serve a wedding party up in here. But this is our spare drawer. Yeah. All right, that's where we're at. I'll keep you up to date.
See ya!
Beep. Well, that's that. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.